Hi everyone, it's Susan Edwards at the Rock Shop at 311 Broadway, historic downtown Paducah, where positive energy works. Like many of us, I have been struggling with what it is that I need to be doing, and specifically, how can I contribute in the most positive and the most loving and the most divine way. I had been so disrupted energetically that it had been hard for the angels to really connect with me. So I took some time for myself. I went out into nature. I spent some time meditating and I love watching birds. So I went out and I did some bird watching, and I spent most of the day outside, sat by the river, just taking time for me. And I finally was able to raise my vibrations to the level where I actually could connect with the angels. And here is the message that I got. And this is Archangel Michael speaking. For true change to occur, you must first observe what is no longer serving you. Otherwise, there is no motivation to change. Systemic racism is one of the pillars of the old, the unsustainable systems that will falter and fall. We had warned you about these upcoming changes. Change is not often easy, sometimes unwanted, occasionally violent, even in nature. That is the nature of change. Old patterns must break apart before new patterns can be formed. While it is unsettling, it is exactly what is needed. Those who profited from old paradigms rarely relinquish power easily or willfully. When a pendulum swings so far in one direction, it always loses momentum, rests for a very brief moment, and then swings back. If unprovoked, it finally comes to rest in balance. So I ask, well, how can we help basically get back to this balance? And the theme came back again, which is hold the space for light and for love. And however that looks for you, there is no one way. Focus on what you want, hold the space. So when they tell us to hold the space for light and for love, my interpretation of that means when we are centered, balanced, grounded, our emotions are untangled by what we perceive to be reality, but in fact are connected to the divine, we have a much broader perspective of what is going on. We have a razor-sharp discernment to be able to cut through that which is, I'll use a polite word, not close to the truth, and really recognize what is in the best interest for yourself as well as for others. And that does look different for different people. So don't get all hung up that you have only one way that can look, because that's just as much of a false narrative as anything else. So I asked the angels, well, what would Jesus do? Which is really a great question. And the answer came back, he would remind you that your job is to be the bridge, the way showers, the helping hands, to hold those higher frequencies, because you understand that this is merely a part of the process. Hold the space for hope. If no one knows where the radio dial is for love and hope and faith and unconditional love, if no one is demonstrating that, then how will people learn? So it's really incumbent upon Lightworkers and all of us who are involved in this process of raising the frequencies to stay centered and hold that space open for light and for love. And Archangel Michael said, do not despair. The media shows the worst of humanity by design. The vast majority of humanity has compassion and love for life and for each other. Do not be fooled by these images. For every one that is shown, there are 10 doing God's work. Focus on those. Take care of yourself. Your job is to energetically hold up mankind for a while. That's a big load, isn't it? So you really have to take care of yourself in order to be able to be up for that job. Show the way. Take a stand for love. Wage love. Shine the light of God. Do not be distracted. When you're really over-consuming this media, it is their job to show you all the things that get you to watch. The drama, the awful stuff. You know, if everything is going smooth and nobody's arguing about anything, it's not much of a story, is it? So be very careful about how much media you are consuming and how much you believe what you are seeing. To hold these higher frequencies, you must turn away and look at reality as it is. Hold the space for faith. Hold the space for love. Show the way. Show what light and love looks like. That is your most important job. I know a lot of us are feeling very frustrated, like, hopes and prayers aren't really going to get this done. And some are choosing to take a stand and march, some are not. And we each have our role to play in this. And I'm like, we got to do more than just pray. And what they're telling me is, no, that is what you need to do. You need to continue, Susan, need to continue to remind people that they are spiritual beings having a physical experience. And that even science, mainstream science, will tell us that there's a mind-body-spirit connection, that prayer does work, that if you look at the quantum physics world, first of all, it's weird, but the mainstream scientists will tell you that it doesn't operate in the same way that we observe what we're calling reality. That in the quantum world, things are fuzzy until you observe them. They're everywhere until you observe them. That you can't really know where something is until you observe it. So when you pray, you are affecting. So be aware of what you are praying for. And what you are praying for, whether you're aware of it or not, is what you're focusing your attention on. So if you're focusing your attention on how awful things are, that is what you're observing, and that is what you will get more of. So for us Lightworkers and the way showers, it is critical for us to observe the good, to stay in those higher frequencies, to show the way. Yes, those things are happening. They are. You can be aware of them. Not saying that you shouldn't be upset by them. But focus on what you want, which is peace and harmony. And how do you do that? Well, there's lots of ways to do it. Praying is an excellent way to do it. Ho'oponopono. In Ho'oponopono, it states that everything starts with you. that whatever is showing up in your outer world is a direct reflection of what's going on in your inner world. And that to achieve what you truly want, you have to get back to zero or clear away all of the stuff that's in your way. Because it's just old data. It's old programming. Lots of us grew up with prejudice. Okay, I'm a child of the 60s. So yeah, there was a lot of prejudice around me. I have to continue to work to clear all of those things. So children of the day, they've got their own prejudices that they need to work on. So how do you do it? Well, you start with, I love you. And what you're speaking, I love you, is to the divine. I love you. I do want to be in harmony with unconditional God love. I love it when I am in harmony. I am sorry. I am sorry for whatever blockages are keeping me from truly resonating with unconditional God love. Please forgive me for being unaware. And thank you for clearing these blockages from my mind, my body, my spirit, and my outer world. Thank you. Now, if you're experiencing your lower frequencies, your emotions that are churning you up, figure out where in your body it's bothering you. If your stomach is tight, then that's where the emotion is centered. So take a nice deep breath. And then focus on that emotion, which is like churning your stomach, and just breathe through it and do the I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And continue to do that until that emotion starts to clear. These are hard times, and we have the privilege to be here on earth doing our work now. And this is what your job is to hold the space for light and for love. Do not agree with the people who tell you that the world is awful, that humanity is lost, and that everyone's life is going to HELL. If you agree with that, then you're not doing your job. Stay tuned in to the divine, to unconditional love. Will everyone agree with you? No. Okay? But enough people will agree with you that our voices will be the voices that will be heard. So stay strong. Take care of yourself. That is important. Do what you need to do to manage your stress. Turn away from the media. Okay? Look, I'm a news junkie. I like to know what's going on, but I have to limit, and I have to get outside and get grounded, because if I don't, I start really cranking into that false narrative. I do hope this helps. This is Susan at the Rock Shop at 311 Broadway, historic downtown Paducah. If this video has been helpful in any way, shape, or form, I do appreciate the thumbs up. Please subscribe. Hit the bell, because we do put out videos on a regular basis. Something tells me the angels are going to be talking a lot pretty soon here. So have a very blessed day.